Oh, hello everyone, it's Lee Chapman here, and I know Christmas is coming up. And today we're talking about what you can buy your husband or your significant male partner for this Christmas. And today we're talking about knives. Now, before I get right into it, I just want to say that knives are as varied as the pages of religion, and I would rather have a talk honestly to people about the difference in religion than I do a one about the difference of knives, because so many people are going to get on this post afterwards and say, Lee, what about this knife or what about that knife? We're not going to talk about that, so please don't comment on what you think is the world's best knife. I'm not talking about that today. But I want to give you a bit of an idea of the context of which direction I'm coming from. A little while ago, I had a lady contact me through the videos that I do, and she told me of the issue that she had. Long story short, her father-in-law, her husband's father, was terminally ill with cancer. And they wanted to say something, but they just didn't know what to do. They wanted to give him something, but they didn't know what. And as I listened to her story unfold, I said to her, the things that men want, we want to be recognized for the things we've done. We want to work to how our hero instinct that's within every one of us. So I gave her a few tips on a couple of knives that she could buy that her and her husband could give to their father and his father and her father-in-law on his deathbed. Now, this is a small country town where all the nurses and doctors and everybody knows everyone in the small town, so it wasn't really an issue. But they went into the hospital room, and on one lovely sunny Sunday afternoon, they gave him this wonderful, beautiful, quality knife. And he was moved to tears. And for the next week before he died, he was telling everyone in the hospital about this beautiful knife that his family had given him, and he felt like, as a man, that his life had meant something, that he actually had an impact, and to such an extent that he ended up passing that knife onto his son before he passed away. So where does that lead to today? It's just a great story about a gift that was given to a man in recognition of a job well done, regardless of the things he did or didn't do, that he led the best life that he could live. Now, unfortunately, we don't get that in today's society. There was a stage where a father or a significant male role model would give a 15 or 12-year-old boy a knife in a way that's saying, look, I trust you with this dangerous item, that you're not going to do stupid things. And unfortunately, we don't get that recognition anymore. But as society, we teach all about what women want, and especially around Valentine's Day and Christmas and Mother's Day, that women should be showered in beautiful, expensive gifts like jewellery. And, you know, when you give an engagement ring to a woman, it says, look, I value you. I'm giving you this expensive article because it's going to enhance your beauty, and I really value you as a woman in my life. Or a pair of diamond earrings. It speaks to a woman's heart that you think highly of me, that you've spent so much money on me, and I feel fantastic as a woman. And what happens is we don't really have that as men. Sure, Father's Day, you can give a man a chainsaw, you can give him parts for his car, but it's not the same as giving a man a knife. So what sort of knife do you give him? Well, I'm just going to show you a selection of knives that can give you an idea of what to give. There's only two types of knives. There are mass-produced knives, and then there are custom-made knives made by custom knife makers that make one-off knives. So I've got a selection here. Now, it's very easy to ask your husband or a significant partner, just in general conversation, did you have a knife as a kid? You know, were you a Boy Scout? And let them talk, and you'll get some information about what they like. Or maybe if they've already got some knives, see what sort of style they like. If your husband used to be a Boy Scout and he said, oh yeah, I had a Boy Scout knife, I had this incredible Victorinox Swiss Army knife, but I lost it hiking. I just, I never got around to getting another one. You can still buy Swiss Army knives. And if your husband had that story, and come Christmas that you gave him a pocket knife, a Swiss Army knife that reminded me of his childhood, I can guarantee you he'd be pretty almost moved to tears, if not moved to tears. If your husband is in the law enforcement or fire rescue, or he's in the fire department or something like that, maybe something a bit sturdier and a bit cooler, something like the Zero Tolerance 0566 with carbon fiber might be more his go, something he can use every day. Because as men, we mentally and physically go into battle every day. Or maybe he wants something a bit lighter, like the Zero Tolerance 0450 carbon fiber. This is a great little blade, nice and light, and it's something you can use every day. If your husband is the outdoorsy type, you can go something like this Puma Coyote with stag handle. I like these stag handles because no two knives are the same. Yes, sure, they're mass produced, but because of the stag handle, each one is individual. If your husband is more of the refined gentleman type, you could probably get him a little Puma knife like this, where it's something that he can just keep in his business suit pocket, or keep on the office for opening letters, or any little job around the office. For my 50th birthday, my family got me this very agricultural Viking style knife from the Ukraine off of Etsy. It's a one-off handmade design. I'm not going to use it every day, but it's just a cool handmade knife that I can sit on the table on a cheese platter when friends come over, and it's got a story to it. I'll keep this forever because it was handmade, and it was given to me on my 50th. And if you, like I said, if your husband's outdoorsy, you can also get something like this, the Muela or Mule, it depends on how you want to say it, made in Spain, Kodiak knife, which is another really great knife. But there's so many different types of knives. But what they do have in common is, when you're giving a man a knife, just like ladies, jewelry, you're gonna feel different getting a piece of jewelry from Tiffany's as you are getting a costume piece of jewelry from Walmart. So men are the same. There is something different about a knife that says made in the USA, made in Europe, than a knife that says made in China. Don't buy your husband, right, your husband or significant male partner, a knife that says made in China. It just says it's cheap and I don't value you. So this is what makes us men come alive, is getting a knife from a lady, because it says a few things. One, it says, I trust you're not going to use this against me. It also says, I know you're going to battle every day. It says, I've got your back. And it says, I know enough about you that I believe in you, and I'd like to give you something special. It's something that speaks to a man's heart. It's man's oldest tool, and it's deep in our DNA. So ladies, if you need help buying a knife, personal message me and I'll give you some ideas. But do yourself a favor for your relationship this Christmas and buy your husband a high quality, really nice knife. And I promise you, you will not regret it. So just remember, ladies, as men, we do notice you. You are beautiful, even though we don't say it as often as we should. And remember that men, that you have what it takes, and your responsibility to teach others never ends. Okay, guys, bye for now.